Let's dive into 20 interesting facts about Dragon City. We're going to explore some absolutely incredible behind-the-scenes secrets, really awesome design choices, and the epic history that made this game an absolute global phenomenon. I seriously can't wait to uncover all of this with you, so let's just get right into the list. Number 1. It's honestly kinda hard to believe, but this iconic dragon paradise has been around for over a decade. Developed by the brilliant team over at Social Point, it first hatched onto the scene way back in 2012. And get this, its very first home was actually Facebook, long before we were all constantly tapping away on our smartphones to collect our daily gold. It really puts into perspective just how long this digital world has been evolving right alongside us. Number 2. So picture this. It's the wild peak era of social gaming. Millions upon millions of people were logging onto Facebook every single day just to check on their digital farms and virtual pets. Well, the developers saw this massive enthusiastic audience and realized, hey, it's the absolute perfect time to drop an entirely new kind of experience. The energy back then was just electric, with everyone constantly sending game invites and sharing resources with their friends. Number 3. The creators pulled off a total genius gameplay mashup here. Instead of just making your standard run-in-the-mill town builder, they decided to blend it seamlessly with creature collecting and a really deep breeding system. This meant you weren't just putting down buildings for the sake of it, right? You were literally constructing a customized habitat for your growing family of dragons. Every single structure had a purpose in supporting your magical ecosystem. Number 4. The creators were definitely keeping an eye on the massive hype surrounding monster catching games at the time. But instead of just copying the trend, they asked themselves, what if we made it all about dragons? Honestly, it was such a smart pivot. By focusing entirely on dragons, they carved out their own unique space. They tapped into that universal love we all have for these mythical, powerful creatures, and it totally set them apart from a really crowded market. Number 5. Okay, this is one of my favorite behind-the-scenes visions. The developers didn't want you to just stare at a static list of monsters in some boring menu. No way! They wanted you to feel like the true master of a living, breathing, floating dragon world. Every time you clear a rock, place a farm, or upgrade a habitat, you're actively managing an entire environment. It just makes the whole experience feel so much more immersive and, well, magical. Number 6. Talk about a massive level up. When this game dropped, it exploded in popularity so incredibly fast that it completely transformed the studio. This single title took Social Point from being a solid everyday developer and literally turned them into an absolute powerhouse in the gaming world. It's just amazing how one fantastic idea executed perfectly at the right time can completely change a company's destiny forever. Number 7, it's incredibly inspiring to look back at the studio's humble beginnings because, before they had a global smash hit on their hands, they were mostly just making smaller games for social networks. They were definitely doing good work, but they hadn't quite cracked the code for a worldwide phenomenon yet. This project basically became their golden ticket. It proved that taking a really big swing on an ambitious concept can absolutely pay off. Number 8. So it turns out the breeding tree became the defining feature of the whole game. The sheer joy of putting two dragons together, waiting for that egg to appear, and realizing you've discovered a completely unique combination, that is exactly what kept millions of people hooked. It gave players endless reasons to just keep coming back, to see what kind of fascinating creature they could unlock next. Number 9. Making games is really hard work. And behind the scenes, the developers faced a huge balancing act. They had to constantly dream up brand new dragons to keep everyone excited, but they also had to make sure they didn't completely break the math and rules of the breeding system. It's this super delicate tightrope walk of game design, right? You have to ensure that new additions feel rewarding without making all the old ones totally obsolete. Number 10. All right, we are officially halfway through our awesome list, and this fact is a huge milestone. Making the massive leap from web browsers onto mobile app stores was an absolute game changer. Suddenly, anyone around the entire world could just carry their floating islands right in their pocket. It opened up the game to a gigantic international audience and completely changed how people interacted with it on a daily basis. Number 11. The introduction of elemental combinations really highlights the depth of the mechanics here. By adding elements like fire, water, nature, and electric, it wasn't just about random luck anymore. Players actually got to act like elemental scientists. It's an absolute blast experimenting with different elemental chemistry to figure out exactly how to get that one specific ultra-rare creature you've been hunting for. Number 12. The sheer scale of this is pretty incredible. What started as a fairly straightforward game with just a handful of creatures has evolved into a colossal library. We are talking about thousands of unique dragons now. The amount of creativity, thematic planning, and art design required to pull that off over the years is staggering. It's a true testament to the endless imagination of their art team. Number 13. Let's look at how this game built the studio's legacy. Because they perfected the blueprint with their dragons, they were able to pave the way for another massive hit sibling game, Monster Legends. It really just goes to show that when you build a truly fantastic foundation and deeply understand what makes collecting fun, you can expand that magic into whole new worlds and franchises. Number 14. The game's ultimate magic formula really comes down to its accessibility. It's completely welcoming and simple enough for someone who just wants to play for like 5 minutes on their bus commute. But at the exact same time, it's incredibly deep and complex for hardcore collectors who want to strategize, perfectly map out their habitats, and catch every single legendary creature. It strikes just a beautiful balance between both worlds. Number 15. Can you believe we're on the final stretch of 5 facts already? So one thing that really helps a game survive is the constant hype of limited time events. The developers are always keeping the community on their toes with awesome holiday tie-ins, special race events, and totally epic collaborations. It guarantees that whenever you log in, there's always a fresh goal to chase and something exciting to do. Number 16, you absolutely have to respect the incredible dedication of this development team. In a gaming landscape where titles disappear all the time or just get abandoned by their creators, they have been consistently pumping out fresh updates, bug fixes, and new content for well over 10 straight years. That level of love and care for a product and its dedicated community is just super rare. Number 17. Now, this was an incredibly smart business survival move. When the golden age of Facebook gaming started to collapse and people stopped playing browser games on their computers, a lot of really great titles simply died out. But because they had already built a fantastic, fully optimized mobile version, they completely dodged the collapse. They actually kept growing while a lot of their competitors faded away. Number 18. Even with thousands of new games coming out every single week on the app stores, this one firmly holds its ground. It has earned undisputed legendary status as the king of dragon-themed mobile games. Seriously, if you show anyone a picture of the classic Flame Dragon, there is a huge chance they'll immediately know exactly what game it's from. And that just speaks volumes about its pop culture impact. Number 19. Okay, prepare to have your mind blown by this industry fact. All of those habitats built, farms harvested, and eggs hatched by players around the world helped make the studios so incredibly valuable that they were acquired by the massive gaming giant Take-Two Interactive. And get this, they were bought for literally hundreds of millions of dollars. It is just an incredible success story of starting small and hitting the absolute jackpot. Number 20. Wow, we made it to the final fact, and I think this beautifully summarizes the true heart of the experience. Instead of just focusing on beating other players or being the fastest, the game has this warm, really inspiring core philosophy. It proves that expressing your creativity, experimenting with breeding, and just taking your time to peacefully grow your world is one of the most rewarding ways to play. What a journey through the history of an absolute classic. If you had fun exploring these secrets with me today, make sure you level up your own stats by hitting that like button. Share this awesome list with your fellow Dragon Masters, and definitely subscribe for more amazing facts and deep dives. Before you go, I gotta ask, if you could design your own elemental dragon combination, what would it be and what would you name it? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.